Once upon a time, in the midst of the Civil War, there lived a family of 4 sisters: Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy March. They resided in Concord, Massachusetts, with their mother, Marmee, while their father served as a chaplain in the Union Army. The March family faced financial struggles, but they were rich in love and kindness. Meg, the eldest, was beautiful and responsible. She helped her mother with household chores and took care of her sisters. Jo, the second eldest, was an independent and aspiring writer. She spent most of her time reading and writing stories. Beth, the shy and gentle soul, had a heart full of love and a talent for music. She spent her days playing the piano and singing sweet melodies. Amy, the youngest, was an artistic and spoiled little girl. She loved to draw and paint, and her sisters adored her creativity. One snowy Christmas Eve, the sisters received a small amount of money from their Aunt March, which they decided to use to buy presents for their mother. Jo, being the resourceful one, suggested they make their own gifts, and so they did. Meg made a pair of gloves, Jo wrote a book, Beth created a beautiful piece of music, and Amy drew a lovely picture. As they sat around the fireplace, enjoying their small but meaningful gifts, they heard a knock at the door. It was their neighbor, Mr. Lawrence, who had come to invite them to a Christmas party at his grand house. The sisters were hesitant at first, but eventually agreed to attend. At the party, they met Mr. Lawrence's grandson, Laurie, a charming and friendly young man who quickly became a part of their lives. Laurie was fascinated by the March sisters and their strong bond, and he soon found himself falling in love with Jo. However, Jo, being the independent and strong-willed person she was, did not reciprocate Laurie's feelings. Instead, she saw him as a dear friend and confidant. Meanwhile, Meg and John Brooke, Laurie's tutor, began to develop feelings for each other. As time passed, Beth's health began to decline, and the family faced the harsh reality of her mortality. In her final moments, Beth asked Jo to promise to take care of their mother and sisters, and Jo, heartbroken, agreed. After Beth's passing, the family was devastated, but they found strength in their love for each other. Jo continued to write, and her stories were eventually published. Meg and John got married and had twins. Amy traveled to Europe with Aunt March and developed her artistic talents. Years later, Jo received a proposal from Friedrich Baer, a kind and gentle professor who appreciated her intellect and spirit. Jo, finally ready to accept love, said yes. Laurie, who had always loved Jo, eventually found happiness with Amy, and the two got married. The story of the March sisters came full circle, as they all found love, happiness, and fulfillment in their own unique ways. Through their journey, they learned the value of family, friendship, and following their dreams. As Jo looked back on their lives, she realized that their struggles and hardships had made them stronger and more resilient. She knew that Beth's memory would live on in their hearts, and that their bond as sisters would forever be unbreakable. And so, the March sisters lived happily ever after, their lives a testament to the power of love, family, and following your dreams. Years went by, and the March sisters continued to live their lives with purpose and passion. Jo and Friedrich had 2 children, a boy and a girl, and Jo continued to write, publishing several successful novels. Meg and John had 3 children, and Meg became a respected member of the community, known for her kindness and generosity. Amy and Laurie had 1 child, a beautiful girl, and Amy's artistic talents flourished, with her paintings being exhibited in galleries across the country. The sisters remained close, despite their busy lives, and would often meet at the old family home, now occupied by Jo and Friedrich. They would spend hours reminiscing about old times, sharing stories, and supporting each other through life's ups and downs. One day, Jo received a letter from a young writer, seeking her advice and guidance. Jo, remembering her own struggles as a writer, was more than happy to help. She began a correspondence with the young woman, offering words of encouragement and valuable insights into the writing life. As Jo looked back on her own journey, she realized that she had come full circle. She had started as a young writer, full of dreams and aspirations, and now she was in a position to help others achieve their own writing goals. The March sisters' story was one of love, family, and perseverance. They had faced many challenges along the way, but through it all, they had remained strong, supportive, and true to themselves. And in the end, they had all found happiness and fulfillment, each in their own unique way. The story of the March sisters would live on, a testament to the power of sisterhood, love, and following your dreams. And as Jo sat in her cozy study, surrounded by books and memories, she smiled, knowing that their legacy would continue to inspire generations to come.